Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a video making an entire album, and I wanted to show kind of my process for making small mini albums for people. I've made several. People seem to really enjoy the California one that I made for my friend Mariana, and so I thought I'd just kind of do a couple different videos as I make gifts for people to show the process that I use. And obviously, each video will be different because the album is going to be tailored to a specific person. But I just kind of wanted to show the process that I use. And this specific one took me just about like an hour and a half or 2 hours after you count like all the cutting and trimming of the papers beforehand and everything like that. But it's really easy, and I think it's accessible for people who maybe don't even scrapbook a lot because it's very limited in terms of what you'll need and what you'll use, and it's very easy to turn that into an album. So what I'm using today are some cut apart pages from a scrapbook paper pad. For those of you who don't know, those large 12 by 12 pads of paper within a scrapbook collection usually have some pages that you can cut apart into little cards or small journaling strips or whatever. And this is from Dear Lizzie's Fine and Dandy collection. And one of the sheets had 4 by 4 cards, and the other just had some miscellaneous size journaling type pieces. So I cut them out all ahead of the video, and I'm using them to as the base of my album. So you'll see that really those two sheets of paper and then a sheet of flamingo print paper, if you can kind of see that there, are basically what I use to make this album, along with obviously the photos and some limited embellishments. And I will link pretty much everything I use down below unless I can't find it, but honestly, this is the kind of project where you can really just use what you have. And like I said, I'll be sharing some more videos in the future when I do a similar thing. Um, so the first page that I did, all I did was add a sticker and some washi tape at the top, and now I'm working on the second side with this very small photo and this little label piece from the cut apart page. Um, I'm sticking them down here, and you can tell here in a minute that I wasn't planning this out very well. I intended to put the jump rings at the top of the album where that strip of washi tape is. But I didn't plan for that when I started sticking down the second side of this card. So every once in a while you're going to see me trying to figure out if I can pull it back off or if I can find a way to salvage that. And I can't, so finally I just get over it and plan to bind the rings on the left side as you usually would with a book. So I added some heart washi tape there at the bottom and a Kelly Purkey stamp from an old stamp set. And there's a large blank space there, and I'm eventually going to do something with it. You'll kind of see right now I'm just building the bones of this album with these pieces of paper and the photos. And if I know how I want to embellish it ahead of time, I'll go ahead and do that. But a lot of this you'll see me continuing to go back through. The other thing you'll notice is that I am sticking some white cardstock in between the layers of colored paper just to kind of give it a little bit more stability, make it a little less prone to bending, etc. Um, and you'll also notice that I did this kind of hastily at the beginning of the video, and so it's really not matching up very well, and I'm having to do a lot of trimming. So if you do that a little more, I don't know, a little better than I did, then you shouldn't have as much need to trim as I did. But you know, hindsight is 2020, right? So you'll also see that I'm trying to kind of balance every other card. See, I'm still trying to take that photo off because I really wanted to do it vertically, but it's okay. Anyway, I'm trying to balance every other card being sort of like patterned or a little more simple. And so I'm also going to move them around quite a bit as we go through the video and through the album. And I think I even move them around after the video and I change a couple things. So you'll see at the end, I'll show the photos and do a quick, like a very quick flip through of the final pages. And so you can kind of see how they turned out. But I just trimmed down some of these photos here so that they fit better in the space. I don't want to take up too much of those cards because they're already not very big. Like I said, this is just a 4 by 4 square. This is a picture of my sister Olivia. This album is for her. I'm using this Create 365 Happy Planner sticker. And it's all from the same sheet of stickers, and I'm just mounting it on some pink paper to kind of give it a little bit of dimension and putting it right onto the photo. I love that picture of Olivia. She's wearing she's wearing a sorting hat at a toy store, and I just think it's really cute. If I didn't say this already, I made this album for my sister Olivia. She's quite a bit younger than me. She's 10. But she's kind of having a tough day, and I wanted her to know that that Jess and I, her sisters, are there for her. So I just decided to make her a little mini album that she can kind of have with her or have at home or do whatever whenever she's just feeling kind of down. So hopefully it made her smile. Um, I'm, like I said, I'm using the cut apart pieces and then just the flamingo paper. And the reason I'm using the flamingo paper is because one, it's summer and it's very fun. And two, I have a flamingo paper clip that I'm hoping to use later, which I will end up using later. Um, so that if you were wondering why I chose one sheet of paper, that would be why. Um, I'm using this ombre washi tape, which I got in the Target dollar bin. It's very old, so it won't be there anymore, but I really like it, and I'm using these really thick chipboard stickers, which are also from the Dear Lizzie Fine and Dandy collection. I did not buy them at the same time or even know that they were part of the same thing when I bought them, but I really like how fun they are, and they add a lot of dimension, especially for this project, which is very bright and fun, just like Olivia is. On this next page, I have two 2x2 photos that are really blurry because we were dancing and it was dark and all these things, and so I just put a little bit of journaling on there. The next page, I wanted to stamp something inside of that box, but I couldn't find a stamp I liked, so I ended up deciding just to write in the box. And I just write funny because a lot of these photos were being pretty silly, so it was kind of a good tie into the album. I'm putting the washi tape on the side that I used in the first page, and that is from One Canoe Two's Hazelwood collection. And if you haven't seen my unboxing video, they have some really great products, so I would check it out. I'll link it below. But the heart washi tape that I also used on the first page is from the same stack of washis that I got. You can also see that I did make one small shaker pocket, and it's not fused together yet, but I wanted to include that because I knew she would like the sparkly stuff. So I won't fuse it, but you'll see it later in the photos. Next, I have some pictures of me and my other sister Jess, and I want to include one picture of each of us and sort of almost have our own title type pages, and one for Olivia as well. And since the pictures of Jess and I are very similar, we're both holding my nephew. They're the same, they're basically very, very similar pictures. I'm going to put them next to each other when you flip through the book. You can see this card's giving me a lot of trouble. There's something up with the side of it in the top corner. It keeps getting torn, so I'm going to put a photo corner on it, and I actually will end up changing that later, not in the video, but you'll see in the picture. I do something else to it later, but it was tearing, so I'm just improvising. I just trim up that picture of Jess and stick it on this lime green card, and then I've got the photo of me, and I stick it on the floral card, but I'm now out of white cardstock, so hopefully this time I cut it a little more exactly, so I won't be trimming quite so much. I think honestly a lot of the time involved in this particular album was just that I didn't cut very well to begin with, so it pays off to spend a little bit of time doing that in the beginning, but I'm not very patient, so we'll see if I learn. On the next one, I'm just going to do a little quote card from the cut apart. And again, you'll see I just keep flipping through, trying to see what I like, and I'm not worried about embellishing or finishing any of the pages yet unless I already know what I want there. I'm just kind of playing and again building that framework of the album. I'm using more flamingo paper. a 2x2 photo that I'm going to trim down here, and just there I'm trimming it down, and then I'm going to use another cut apart piece, which is sort of a journaling card on this flamingo paper. So I stick it down and then I trim the excess off. You guys, I'm not a very good trimmer. And then on the next side, I use a different shaped cut apart card because I didn't necessarily want them all to be square. And so I cut down this photo of Olivia with our nephew and as her title card. I'm just running out of adhesive here, so I'm replacing it. Anyway, I really like the shape of this card and that it's diagonally divided between these two colors, and I just think it's kind of fun. On the next page, I'm deciding to keep it white, but I'm going to try to add a lot of things to it so that it doesn't look blank, if that makes sense. So these are actually the scraps from the top of the 12 by 12 pages. So you know how when you tear them off, there's that perforated edge. Sometimes they're blank or have like writing on them from the, like the company, but I like it when it's a pattern or something that you can cut off and use again because I really don't like to throw things away. I mean, I always recycle them, but I like to try to use them if I can, and so I'm just layering them here to add some more color to this card. I'm using the same size card from the cut apart page on the back of the one that I just made, and simply just because it's the same size, and you'll see I cut a piece of white to go in between to make it sturdy again. These pictures are kind of dark right here, but they're photos of Olivia and Jess's hair because I braided it one night when they were over. And so I wanted to include those. You'll be able to see it better in the photos later. Just kind of looking for more cards, what I want to do next. I'm starting to run out of those 4x4 pieces, so I'm just trying to think strategically, I guess, as I'm working on it. More trimming. You'll see most of the stickers that you're going to see me using are from either the Dear Lizzie Fine and Dandy chipboard sticker collection or the Happy Planner. And all of the washi tape except for the Target one are from One Canoe 2. I'm using the heart one again. And like you've maybe seen in some of my other videos, I like to divide things in 1/4 by 3/4 type ways. So about 3/4 up the card or down the card or on the side of the card, because I just think it's kind of interesting to look at that way. So here on that last card I did it that way as well, but it was sideways. This is a picture of me and my sisters and my mom and my nephew, and again I'm putting it on one of those other size cards. I have a picture here of Olivia, and I gave her one of those like wind up butterflies. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but you can wind them up and then stick them in like a book, and if someone opens the book, it'll fly out at them. And I gave it to her for her birthday, and my mom sent me this text later that she had been playing with it and it got stuck in her hair, so I thought that was too funny and really cute. At this point I'm out of 4x4 cards, so I'm just using the white card that I had already cut to stabilize it, and I'm just going to decorate them a lot more so they don't look boring. I have these 3 photos from the same night, and since I'm running out of space, I made a little pocket by only adhering down 3 sides of the card that you see there with the green on it, and so I'm just trimming those photos down so they fit in it like a pocket. And now that I basically have the shell built for the album, I'm just going to be flipping through and kind of rearranging some of them. There are a lot of white cards at the end now since I ran out of colored paper. So I'm going to move some things around just so it's a little more even. And as I do that, I'm going to do embellishments that I knew I wanted to do. So on the pictures of me and Jess, I'm just adding our names in this turquoise alpha, which is from a beautiful Mess 2017, July 2017 Messy box. Just because, again, I wanted a title page for each of us. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that on Olivia's picture here at the bottom as well. I did add that heart sticker, which is also from the Happy Planner set, but I actually am going to end up changing that later, but you won't see it until the final photos. I'm adding another strip of that scrap from the paper pad up at the top of this photo of me and my family, just to kind of add more color. And then this photo of Olivia is also just on white, so I want to add quite a bit of color to that one too. And again, I just keep going through and adding things bit by bit until I'm happy with it. So you'll see that I just keep moving things around. I did only adhere 3 sides of this card as well, so I could make a tag, or I could put a tag in there, and I'll do some journaling on that later, but you won't see it in the video. But I think it's fun to have pockets that you can pull journaling and stuff out of. I add some chipboard to that photo, and now I'm going to add some color to this one because it's basically just completely white. This tag says, "You make me smile," which is I thought was great for this, and then I add a heart to the next one. And I'm still moving these cards around because I don't know where I want them all. I add this chipboard sticker, and I don't love it, and I'll change it later as I change a few things, but you'll see that in the photo as well. I'm adding some washi tape to the top of this card because it's just really plain, and obviously that's not the theme of this album. It's supposed to be fun and bright and happy for Olivia, so it'll make her smile. So again, those are 1 Canoe 2 washi tapes. I add a large chipboard sticker to that spot where the journaling goes, which is great because I don't want all those lines showing up and looking like I should have journaled on them but didn't. I add some more of the same washi tape to the side of this photo, and then fold it around the other side, trimming the edges so it already looks way more colorful. It's kind of nice how just like little tiny changes can make things feel more pulled together. Now I'm going to try to tackle this pocket card that I made in the back because it's obviously very white and plain. So I'm just looking for some things that will make it a little more exciting. I choose these, and I think I take them off later in the video because I don't really love them. You'll also see these enamel dots. The circular ones are from Heidi Swap, and the triangular ones are from 1 Canoe 2, so you can see those in my haul video as well. I add 2017 in the same turquoise alpha on the front, and I add an enamel dot to the corner of this photo. Olivia's not a super girly girl, and there's already a lot of pink and red, so I want to try to add more turquoise because that's her favorite color, and also more like black and green, and kind of try to tone down the super girliness of some of the pages. So I'm just adding stickers from these sheets to kind of fill the spots that don't seem finished. I never put anything on this card, so I cut down this picture of yogurt that I had taken when we had a yogurt date, and I put it on here, and then I used the Dear Lizzie chipboard stickers again, and I just thought that those were super cute, saying yummy. You'll also notice that I try to keep things away from the left side of the pages because I don't want anything to be in the way of the rings when I put them in later. And you'll also notice that as I go through, I'm basically trying to add something 3-dimensional to every card because I don't want any of them to look flat or boring. And so if you see anything that's missing something like that, I'll add to it later. I'm now tackling the back because it's completely white, so I'm using those cut apart pieces and also the scraps from the scrapbook pages, and those don't actually end up fitting very well, so I get out some oh, my kitty ran into me. I get out some pink washi tape and put it on the bottom there, and just kind of trim it off to add some color, and then I put on this rainbow edged label to kind of fill the space, and I'm looking for what else I can use, and I think I land on these chipboard Dear Lizzie stickers again. And that's just like the exact right size. So I decide on that for now, and I'll actually add something else to it later as well. I'm adding more teal here. Again, that's Olivia's favorite color, in this washi tape. And I think I add it to the next page too here in a minute, but I'm doing just a little bit of journaling at the bottom. And some more chipboard stickers. The other chipboard stickers that you're seeing are just from Michael's, and I think they're pretty old, but if I can find them, I'll link them in. Again, using more of the ombre washi tape. I'm moving this sticker over so there's more room to punch the holes. Again, just kind of flipping through. I add that flamingo paper clip that I was talking about earlier. And I'm trying to figure out what else I can do on this page because it's a little bit boring, but I haven't thought of anything yet. So I'm also now trying to figure out where I want my shaker pocket to go. And if you can see it, it's just silver stars and then some teal sequins. And I think I found a good spot there. So I decided to go ahead and start punching my holes even though I'm not done with it, just because I kind of need a minute to rest and think of new ideas. Sometimes it's good to walk away or to move on to a different task when you're, kind of at a point where you don't know what you want to do with the thing you're working on. You'll see me every once in a while punching some aluminum foil, and that's just to sharpen my hole punch because it's really not a very good hole punch. I need to get a new one, but until then, I'm just using the aluminum foil to sharpen it. If you were wondering what I'm doing there. Again, some of them are a little bit hard to punch with different thick chipboard elements on them. So I guess keep that in mind when you're working on it. Maybe I don't know, take a picture of it with your phone and then actually stick it down really well after you've punched your holes, or just make sure they're far enough over. It wasn't a big problem, it just took a little bit of time. Now I'm just attaching it to two 1-inch silver jump rings, and I just got them at Hobby Lobby. So that way this can all kind of be together, and I can flip through it and then just make some final changes to the album. So here's a quick flip through of the final pages. You can kind of see I added some string to the tag. I'm just showing you like how thick it is. I added a little heart up there. I added something behind that sticker and I think it looks way better. I added a little black heart, which isn't much, but I think it helps a lot on the other page. Those are the same. You can see my shaker pocket once it's finished. I put a foam letter from Dear Lizzie in there. It says love. Didn't change anything on this one. Over here I just did some dotted lines with a black pen. You can kind of see them to make it a little more interesting. A chipboard heart there. Just like I said, adding a 3-dimensional element on each of these pages. I'm trying to move this one and then I'm like, it's fine. Added a couple things to the umbrella there. Again, just to add some black or color here and there, kind of make it finished up. And you can see the photos in the pocket. And then on the back, it's not shown, but I actually add a black heart to the back of that as well. So that's what you can see from my album. Like I said, it took about an hour and a half, 2 hours when you account for all the cutting and all of that kind of thing. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's bright and fun and perfect for my 10-year-old sister, and I hope that it makes her smile. I hope that this gives you guys a good idea of how you can use very few products, or only go out and buy a few things and make a whole album. You don't need tons of supplies and tons of, skill or anything like that. It's really just putting those pieces, those pre-cut pieces together with what you have and picking colors that kind of match. That's all I did before this video started, was pick things that kind of were the same color scheme. So I hope this gives you some ideas. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I have another video coming up of a similar album, but it's a completely different feel because it's for a different person. And it's at a 4x6 size, but it took about the same amount of time. So let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything specific you'd like to see on this channel. I always appreciate your comments and feedback on everything, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. So again, just the last few pages here. Um, I really hope that my sister enjoys this album because I definitely enjoyed making it for her and kind of smiling back on some memories from this year. So thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. And hopefully that's soon.